first thing we need to do to create quote documentation is to create the images for Quote Builder. There's two types of images you can create. There's a cover page and a title page. In this example, we're going to create all the images we need for our finished quote. So the first thing we need to do is make sure that we're on the current tab that we are on is the one that we want to create an image from. So in this one, we're going to create a cover page from the station, and we're going to create two title pages from, or title block pages from the enclosure tab and the station tab. So now that we have our station tab selected and all of the tags are in place and our parts list is the way we want it, we're going to click on File and then Create Quote Project Image from Current View. Once we click that, it's going to bring up this this box that's going to ask us what kind of image we want to create. So we're going to create a cover 11 by 17. Also in this dialog box, we have the option to edit any of the project information if we want to do that before we create a title page or a title block page. We're going to leave this as is, and we're going to create a 11 by 17 cover. If you notice, all of this information over here on the right is all grayed out because it doesn't really pertain to a cover. If we were making a title block page, then we would select what we want to include on that title block page. So let's select cover and then save. So and then after that, it's going to pull up this preview box. What we're going to want to do here is just place our image. We don't have to worry about anything else on the cover page other than just placing our image. So let's move it where we want. You can use these buttons to nudge it left, right, up, or down. These two buttons, the plus and minus, will scale your image up or down. So we'll scale it down just a little bit, place it where we think looks good. Another thing to note is over here on the right hand side, all of this information is going to be generated from your project information. So this is all filled out. This is what it'll look like. Once we're happy with the placement here, we can click Save, and it will take us to the directory, and we'll just call this, it's going to generate it with your title, your project title, and then it's going to add cover 11 by 17. So it's going to save it in the default folder here, and now we'll move on to create a project image, or we'll move on and create a title block page. So again, make sure that the image that you want to save is current, and then we'll go File, Create Quote Project Image, and this time we're going to create a title block image that's 11 by 17. Now all of this information isn't grayed out anymore, and I'm just going to go over what it is really quick. We want to include the current view. We do want to include our parts list. We want to include our tags. This button this radio switch right here is if you want to enable the tag balloons. We'll disable that in the next image we create to show what that does. We also want to include notes. Now notes are added in your project info right here on the very bottom. So now that we've got everything selected, let's go ahead and click Save. Now we need to move our items around so that the image looks like we want it to. So the three things we need to worry about are our picture, the product list, and the notes. Now in order to move the picture, we need to have this icon here selected, Adjust Main Image. So that allows us to adjust it, and just like before, we can move it with these nudge buttons, plus or minus button right here. So we're going to shrink this down just a little bit to make it fit. Maybe we'll go a little bigger than that. Once we're happy with where that is, we're going to move our parts list here. So we click on this icon, which is our parts list. Now we can move our parts list and we can scale that up or down as well. And we can move our notes around. Another thing worth mentioning is all of this information down here is generated by your project info. So once everything is where we want it, we'll go ahead and click Save. It'll save it out in that same folder as it did before, and we'll just call this page 1. And then it'll pop up a dialog box asking if we want to browse our project folder. So the last image we want to create is from our station view here. So again, File, Create Quote Project Image. We're going to do a title block 11 by 17 again. We're going to include the parts list, include the tags. This time we're going to exclude the product balloons, the tag balloons, excuse me, and we'll include notes as well. So we're just going to do that same process again. By default, the main image is selected, so we'll move that where we think it looks good, scale it up or down. Next we will move our parts list where we think that looks good. We'll scale it up just a little bit. And finally our notes. And if you notice, the tag balloons are gone because of that that button we highlighted right by the include tags box. So we'll save this out, call this page 2, and in the next tutorial we'll go over how to finalize a project. So page 2.